All right, so this is a pretty funny one. This is a woman who's kind of using some reverse psychology, complaining about men, because men are always talking about women hitting the wall, and women have taken notice of this, that men are doing this. So this woman is sort of sardonically patronizing men who say this, right? So she says, at the top there, she says, the wall, in quotes, is the mythical, meaning it's not real, mythical moment in a woman's life when she finally, overnight, turns into the incel she always deserved to be. So she's sardonically mocking men there who she thinks this is what they're actually saying when they talk about the wall, right? So then she goes on to say down here, she says, the fact that this isn't really how it happens doesn't make the memes less comforting. Wanting to see the mighty fall is one of the basic human itches. Gotta scratch it somehow. So again, she's being sarcastic. She's sardonically mocking men. And basically this stems out of the fact that women really disdain any man who's not a 10 out of 10 Chad. They really disdain men who are incels. They think we're all complainers. If they think men who are talking about the wall are just complainers, and men who talk about the red pill truths about women are just losers, incels who can never get laid and things like that. Well, there is a difference between men and women as far as our sexual selection and how much more abundance women have than men, right? And women want to act like that's some kind of right, or it's some kind of I shouldn't use the word privilege, because they don't think it's a privilege. They act like it's some kind of divine right, and because they really think deep down they're better than men. They really think men should be serving them. This is what feminists really think. This is that type of mentality, right? So they think that when men complain about women, sleeping around, that we're just bitter and we're jealous and we're mad and we just hate women and all these things. And I wouldn't say that some of that's not true. Like, I'm kind of jealous of the fact that they have a lot more sexual selection than me. I'll admit that. That's true, right? But it's, along with privilege and ability, there should be responsibility. So if you have, more privilege, you have more access to something, you should be responsible over it. But women are not responsible over this. This is why we have this single mom epidemic, right? So they complain and they make these arguments, but they're still not, mature in their thinking. They're still not mature in their reasoning, right? They think they can just go sleep around with no consequences. And even if men did have the same privilege that women do in that aspect, in the sexual market, there would still be consequences, because that's just life. There are consequences for your actions. There are consequences for sleeping around, okay? And then she finishes it up down here. She says, it's the Church of Manosphere's version of karma. Yeah, you should have some karma. You screw guys over, you go out and ride the cock carousel for 10 years when you should be with your husband, and then you expect your husband, when you're 30, 35, you expect the simp that you choose, the beta provider that you choose, to just accept all your baggage. That's selfish. That's wrong. That's unrighteous. It's immoral. Why do women not have morals, right? Men are the only ones who have morals anymore. And yet we've constantly heard this narrative that women are the fairer sex. What's fairer about having trains ran on you? What's fairer about having an OnlyFans and being on Pornhub? Like, there's nothing fairer sex about that. It's disgusting. We don't want our wife or our future baby's mom to be a hoe. Okay? It's just that simple. Yeah, sure. You claim that, well, yeah, but you want to fuck us. You want to, you're the one who likes porn and all this. No, you like porn because it's exploitative of what you're selling. Okay, yeah, we got a dick. We like to get off, but I think most men would prefer a quality woman to love and marry, but we can't get that, can we? We got to buy one. We got to go out and make money so we can buy one. But here's the thing. She's wrong. I don't think that men believe that. I don't think that men believe that the wall is when she turns into an incel. I don't know why she thinks that. I've never heard that. The wall isn't when women turn into an incel. Actually, in fact, even obese, wildebeest women can still find some schlub who will hit it. Okay, that's just the reality. Women who are in their 50s, they're all dried up and nasty, their tits are sagging, can still find some lonely, thirsty guy who will have sex with them. That's how insane female sexual privilege really is. Okay, women never know what most men go through, nor do they care. You have no idea what men go through in our lives as far as sex is concerned. You have no clue. You would jump off a bridge. Women would kill themselves. Women are always having sex. They don't even have the concept of what men go through as far as not getting sex. They don't even have and in fact, they mock us. They think we should just kill ourselves if we're incels, and we shouldn't even be breathing. We shouldn't even be sharing their earth because we're such losers. If women if women had their way, okay, and got what they wanted, all men under a 10 out of 10 Chad would not exist. They would not be on Earth, right? The thing, and they don't even care. They don't know what men go through. Most men, because it's only 10% of men who are really banging all the women, right? They don't even know what most men go through, and nor do they care. They do not care that most men are not getting regular sex. They do not care that most men are not desired by most women. Okay, again, studies have been done on this. This is facts. This isn't some weird manosphere mythical crap that I'm pulling out of my ass that we're all just talking about here. This is real shit. Okay, they don't even deserve the privilege. They think they deserve the privilege they have, right? Women think that they just by being born, they just deserve it. This is female solipsism. This is the princess syndrome, right? Oh, I'm special because I'm breathing. All women to some extent have this. Most women, I should say, to some extent have this. Most women are not humble. They do not self-crit. They're not able to self-analyze and say, hey, wait a minute, that's my ego. Most women are not like that. And in fact, if they are like that, it's probably because they're just not that attractive and men don't want to fuck them, probably. So that's kind of how you get to that point, is you realize, oh, nobody wants to fuck me. Well, I guess I have to be realistic and self-crit and actually look at myself outside of myself and say, hey, what are my problems? Well, I'm just not that hot, or I'm just not this, or I'm just not that. And maybe you can start to work on your actual character and your actual aspects of your personality. Most women do not do this. Most women, they just think, oh, well, I'm a sex object. They really do think that they're a sex object subconsciously, right? Well, women want to fuck me, so I'm God's gift. This is the twisted, distorted way women think. On the one hand, feminism says, tells them, I'm not a sex object. You can't just view me as a sex object. Woo, woo, woo. On the other hand, it says, oh, girl, go get yours. Go out and sleep around. You can do everything a man can do. You can have, sleep around, have no consequences. Oh, you get pregnant, just abort the baby. Oh, this, that. It's like, it's twisted, man. It's twisted, right? So here's the thing. The wall does not actually make women incels. Because again, most women, even obese, old, saggy, wrinkly skinned women can get sex. That's just how insane it is, which is part of the reason why most of them never learn. Why most of them never learn anything, why most of them never grow in their character and on the inside. Because they know they can always get sex. The wall doesn't make women incels, so I don't know why she thinks that. That's not why women say the wall. That's not why we say the wall. We say the wall because the wall lowers their sexual market value, but really it lowers their marriage market value. This is why men say the wall, because it lowers their marriage market value, because women are using sex to get a high quality man for marriage, to have kids with, right? This is women's dating strategy. This is their marriage strategy. I'm going to use my youth and my fertility and my sexuality to lock down a high value guy who has high resources, right? This is their strategy. Okay. They know this better than anyone. They know they've only got until they're 30 or 35 at best to lock down a high value man. So they don't have a whole lot of time to mess around, to play around. They got to go out and ride the cock carousel, have their fun in their 20s, because this is what feminism tells them to do. Oh yeah, go sleep around. It's all good. When you hit 30, then you need to find that beta provider. You need to find that good guy. Oh, I found my prince, right? Bullshit. You were out sleeping with all the dark knights, and now you found your white knight prince, right? They want their cake and eat it too, and unfortunately this is it doesn't work out for them in a lot of cases because, well, you got real baggage. You got emotional baggage from guys you fell in love with along the way, because women are emotional. They're emotionally attached to sex, which is why telling women they can just go sleep around with no consequences is really a stupid thing to do. It actually messes them up. Not only that, if they have more than 5 sexual partners, which most of them do by the time they're even 18, right? You're not able to pair bond very well. This is a scientific fact. The more partners you sleep with, and over 5 partners, you're not able to pair bond because women are emotionally attached to sex. When a woman has sex, her emotions are involved, right? It's just the way it is. Sorry. And of course, radical feminism didn't teach you that. Radical feminism didn't tell you the truth, did it? It told you a bunch of lies, and now you're stuck with whatever guy, high value guy you can find, right? Quote unquote high value on the outside, but how much are you intrinsically attached to him in your heart? How much do you really love him? How much is there loyalty? How can there be loyalty if you have 100 partners before you met him? That's not loyal. You weren't loyal to your future husband. You went out sleeping around thinking there was no consequences, and this is why divorce is at 50-60%, and women initiate 80% of divorces or higher, right? These are facts. This is why there's consequences. Sorry, feminism lied to you, okay? So the wall doesn't make women incels. It just lowers their marriage market value in the future, right? Women know this better than anyone. They know that the wall is coming. This is why they're trying to lock down a high value guy before they hit 30 or 35, right? Men shouldn't discard women because they hit the wall. Men should discard women because of their arrogance amidst their privilege and the fact they're not chaste. Men do discard women because they hit the wall. That is true, but really men have their priorities somewhat askew. Men need to discard women because they're immoral. Men need to discard women because of their arrogance, because of their solipsism, because of their ego, because they're narcissists, because they're succubuses, because they're sociopaths. The list goes on. How many men are able to overlook the fact that, wow, she's got a great ass, she's got great tits, but she's actually a sociopath. She's a narcissist to the core. She's selfish, she's childish, she has no good character, she's immoral, she slept with hundreds of guys. That's why you should discard a woman, not because she hit the wall. And men are to a good extent to blame in this equation. And women know this. Women know that men will choose a woman just because she's fertile, she's got nice tits, she's hot. Women know this, and this is the excuse that they use for them to go and play around. This is how they justify in their own heads that it's okay for them to go ride the cock carousel because, oh, well, all men want anyways is my tits and my ass, so I might as well just go have my fun. This is a lie that feminism tells them, but it's also a lie that they tell themselves, right? This is how they justify their own sleeping around. This is how they justify the fact that they can go out and sleep with whole football teams, amounts of guys, and think to themselves, oh, there's no consequences because I've always got a nice ass. And this is why women are so misled and so actually really just in darkness, in ignorance in their own mind, because they really think all they have to offer the world is their looks and their beauty. What does this do? It teaches them not to work on their inner self. It teaches them not to work on their inner character, not to be, have a better personality, have a better character, show better values on the inside, such as kindness, loyalty, love, charity, all kinds of great character traits that women could have: grace, civility, what's the word I'm thinking of? Accommodating. There used to be a time when people used to have these great character traits, and it used to be where neighbors actually hung out together. They would have dinner, they would be kind to each other. People would, it kind of used to be this thing where like, oh yeah, come have dinner with us, come eat with us, or come share an evening with us, and people would exercise civility with each other. Women were integral in that aspect. It used to be, sort of a female thing. I mean, I don't know if guys are really even old enough to remember, but this generation, these last few decades, that kind of civility, that kind of gentility, that kind of brotherly love, neighborly love, love for your fellow citizens, love for your fellow neighbors, etc. That is not existing anymore. People these days in this generation, they don't even know what that is anymore. Everybody's so selfish. Everybody's so solipsistic. Everybody's so closed in, right? Women used to be very social, very genteel, it's not existing anymore. There's all kinds of character traits that a quality woman should have or could have, but they don't even know because they're so wrapped up in sex. They're so wrapped up in my ass and my titties because this is what guys want, because they're really lost in that immorality lifestyle. They are lost in the sauce. They're lost in that immoral behavior. They're lost in that lifestyle. It's become a habit, right? And subconsciously, consciously or subconsciously, they really think that that's all the value they have to bring to the table. And honestly, therefore, that's all they exercise. That's the only value that they exercise. Well, I'm hot. As long as I'm hot and guys want to fuck me, I've always got a pass. I've always got a way to get what I want. That's what I bring to the table. It's like, so we don't even know. So we're robbed of what you could have been. We don't even know what you could have been. We don't even know what your character could have. You could have been a very graceful, kind person, loving person, but because you're hot, because guys want to fuck you, that's all you bring to the table. That's very sad. It's a very sad situation. So that's what the wall means. The wall means is that, your marriage market value lowers. That's why guys are always talking about the wall, because we know once you hit the wall, you're going to be scrambling to find a partner. You're no longer you are losing your currency, because women use sex as currency. So when they hit the wall, and women know this better than anyone, when you hit the wall, your currency is starting to run out. You don't have any more time to go play the field. You don't have any more time to go get banged by Chad. Your time is running out. You have from age 18 to about age 34, roughly, maybe even before that, depending on your diet, depending on your lifestyle. And some women, depending on their diet and their lifestyle, can push that out to maybe 40, 45, but pretty much 40 is your cap, really. Whereas men, we hit our stride at 35, 40, and that lasts until we're about 60. So women know this. It is what it is. Appreciate you listening. Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.